Hey, welcome to another edition of Wolverine Chat. I am your host once again, Tim Raymond, and we're going to be talking about the Michigan Northwestern game, the nail biter, whatever you want to call it, 5 turnovers. Um, I get one thing to really that we'll talk about this game more detail, but what wraps up this game, Michigan won. That's all that matters. We won. And in some ways, I could say we dominated. In some ways, I could say it was something to be embarrassed about. I was embarrassed, but we also dominated. Same two things can be true at the same time. This game was at Wrigley Field, 2 blocks from where I grew up. I'd never been to Wrigley Field, and we thought we'd be able to go to this game and knock off something off my to-do list, my wish list. But my wife and I had something going, couldn't do it, so we had to actually tape the game on DVR and watch it about 7 o'clock at night. So trying to not look at my phone was not easy. My wife found out who won, and I didn't know that. I just kept saying Zavada was going to miss, and she, like I said, you know who. I found out she knew, and she wouldn't tell me, and I thought they won because I went a little too far, and I saw Bryce Underwood and Sharon Moore kind of on the field being interviewed. And they don't usually interview the losing coaches, but they didn't look happy. Neither one of them they looked sad. Like it was a tough, hard fought game. Bryce had a good game, but those 2 interceptions, I think he's so hard on himself, and he just needed his coach to tell him it was going to be okay. And I want to say something about that, the interview at the end of the game that I noticed, but I saw a post, and I want to really get into it for a second. But let's start with the kickoff. Michigan gets the ball, moves on the field, a lot of 10, 12-yard passing, some good catches, good passing to Donovan McCulley, Andrew Marsh, Jordan Marshall had some good movements. Just a good solid run all the way down to the 5. Good drive, and they get a touchdown from Jordan Marshall. Does one of these home run posts, only it didn't turn out to be a home run. Instead, it was a strikeout. It was a poor holding call. This should not have been a holding call. One of 2 really bad calls on the day, really bad calls, but that should not have been a holding call. We didn't shoot ourselves in the foot that time. They shot us in our foot. So instead of 7-0, we settled for a field goal, but we missed that field goal. So instead of a 3-0 field goal, it's 7-0 or 0-0. 0-0. Northwestern gets the ball back. Nothing. They had a whole lot of nothing all day. I mean, if it wasn't for our fumbles, they had one good drive all day, one good touchdown drive. But Michigan gets the ball back. Same thing, move down the field. Jordan Marshall has a nice, hard, solid run, goes in, 7-0 Michigan. Now Northwestern gets the ball back, and they had to punt again, gives it back to Michigan. Michigan punts this time, and it's still 7-0. However, Northwestern ended up getting a field goal to make that score now 7-6. I tell you what, Northwestern was in the 5-yard line, 6-yard line, I think 3 times during this game, ended up with 6 points, so 9 points. So Michigan actually did really, really good in the red zone. Michigan is stopped again, so the score is still 7-6. Michigan gets the ball, actually, and could not get a 60-yard field goal. Came close. Zavada missed it by maybe a foot. It was a great kick. I don't blame him. The kid's got a leg like I've never seen. So the score remains 7-6, halftime. Northwestern getting the ball could be a little scary, but we stop them again, as usual. Michigan gets a big play right here because we stop them, and Michigan gets the ball, goes down, scores. On that play, that's where Jordan Marshall had a 65-yard run. I thought he was going to score. I thought he could outrun him, but he tried to duke him around the 10-yard line, but they caught him. And then Bryson, Bryce Underwood just had, not Bryson, Bryce had just a great fake to Bryson. I don't even know how to say his name, Gazal, Bryson Gazal, and just faked everybody out. And he just went into the end zone, boom, boom, boom. It was a thing of beauty. The TV camera got faked out. Everybody got faked out. So Michigan scores, kicks the extra point. It's 14-6. Northwestern gets the ball, moves down the field on a punt. Well, they don't move down the field. Samaj punted. Michigan was stopped. We punted, or we stopped them. They punted us, and Samaj punted on a. He was hurt. I mean, he was trying every bit to get an extra yard. So I don't really fault him for that. But you got to hold on to the ball. You've got to. He's not done that well this season at holding on to the ball. That's why he had no attempts at as a receiver. But he fell on the ball, so it was our ball. The lady ref, before she even looked, was going like this. I don't care that she's a lady, but it was. She was calling it before she even looked, and you could clearly see he had it the whole time, which is just terrible. Well, we held them again. Michigan's defense steps up to make it 14-9, and getting a little close, but I still feel pretty good about it. If it wasn't for that fumble, I mean, they would have done nothing. So 14-9, Michigan's got the ball, and we go down the field, and then it's about 3rd and 2, and Jordan Marshall just flies over the line. Thing of beauty, makes it 21-9. We're starting to look good. Looks like we're going to run away. About a minute to go in the halftime, or to the fourth quarter, and we're up 21-9, looking pretty good. But did we know what was going to happen with Bryce Underwood in the fourth quarter? We did not. And we also missed a play where we were about the 40-yard line, and a little trick play to Samaj, and he just got lit up. Really wasn't his fault. And that was the first of 3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. So Michigan's up 21-9. Northwestern, this was the drive of the day for Northwestern. If we could have stopped and got the ball back, I think it was over. But instead, they scored a long drive. One long drive is fine. I'll take that every game. They score. It makes it 21-16. And it's a new ball game. But Michigan's moving the ball. They haven't proved they could stop us. So Underwood's playing well. No interceptions. Looking pretty good. As we speak, he throws an interception right around his own 30, run it back to the 6. Bryce had a nice little tackle to stop it, but they're starting position, the 6-yard line of Michigan. A couple plays later, they're in. They missed a 2-point conversion, which turned out to be very big. An extra point would not have done anything, but if they'd gotten the 2-point, we'd have been in overtime, and who knows what would have happened then. But so now Northwestern has the lead, 23-22, or 22-21, excuse me. Michigan, every time they get the ball, they're moving the ball. Every time, I think, in the second half, except maybe one time when they punted. But they moved the ball, getting it all the way down. And we had the first interception. Now throw another interception. So now, and they score, which made the score now 22-21. Michigan has the ball. And they're moving the ball down, and Cazell, he handed him the ball, but it doesn't look like Bryce ever actually handed him the ball. It was kind of up high. So Bryson just never really had the ball. The fumble on 4th and 1, and Northwestern's got the ball. They could literally put it away, so to speak. A touchdown and an extra point would have given them a 8-point lead. A touchdown and a 2-point would have been a 9-point lead, which should have been game over. Michigan's defense just stops them again. I just, every turnover, every fumble, they stop them, except that one at the 6-yard line. Michigan, just a shout out to Michigan's defense. It was just a thing of beauty. Michigan stops them, and we have the ball. A couple minutes to go, and once again, for the 4th time in a row, Michigan drives down the field. It's just some great play, a thing of beauty. A pass on 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 12 to Andrew Marsh, 18-year-old another true freshman to true freshman, 18-year-old to 18-year-old. He may be 19. I think he's 18, but I know Bryce Underwood is 18, just turned 18 a few months ago. Just two true freshmen, a thing of beauty. And not to take anything away from Donovan, because I first Donovan was going to be our go-to guy, but Andrew has just clearly stepping up, becoming a number 1 guy. But to have a number 2 guy like Donovan McCulley, who can, who's a stereotypical receiver, 6'2", can jump, get those 50-50 balls. I like where we're at with those two receivers for sure. They get the first down, they're moving it, and then another third down and 6, and Bryson had a great decision. Instead of passing, he saw an open lane, just got enough yards to make another first down. So now a second first down on a third down, and they're in field goal range. But we could kick a field goal, and they would still have time. So this was really important that we could run down the clock. So now it's 3rd down and 4, and they give it to Bryson again. And again, it was kind of a tush push, but it was a lot on him. Cazell just moved the line, somehow got a first down. Now, so 3 clutch first downs on that last drive, and they let the clock all the way run down to 2 seconds. I was like, you're going to call timeout, right, Sharon? And he did, and marched in Zavada. Again, my wife knew, and I'm like, tell me he makes it, right? Just tell me he makes it. She goes, you want to watch, don't you? I'm like, no, I want to know he makes it so I don't have to have a heart attack here. Then they call timeout, and I just knew he was going to make it, but you don't know he's going to make it. Blocks, it could be blocked. He could miss it. He missed one earlier. He's missed a couple this season. It could be a bad snap. Oh my gosh, you don't want to watch me when I'm watching a game like this. It's a lot more fun to me when they're up 40-0 and I can just relax and enjoy the game. It's exciting, but I don't want it. Of course, he makes it, game over, and Michigan wins the game. But that last drive was a thing of beauty. But again, they moved it well the whole second half. Now, to tell you this, this is how you win a game when you have a 5-0 turnover ratio. You lose, okay? 5, not 3, not 2. You don't win when you have a -3. You rarely win when you have -2. But a -5, and they won. The only way you can do that is when you totally dominate the rest of the game. And they did. Northwestern played hard, but I'm so tired of, the coach was acting like, they should have won. They expected to win. You expected 5 turnovers because your offense didn't do anything. 500 yards, 496 total yards for Michigan compared to 245. We almost doubled them on yards. Now, I'm not saying the fumbles and interceptions didn't happen. They did, and that's part of the game, okay? But you don't expect 5 turnovers. I think that's fair to say. So passing, 280 yards. So one thing I could say that Bryce, he was on, his best game since probably Washington. May have been his best game all season. He was good at Washington. However, those 2 interceptions were bad interceptions. Rushing, playing our second and third running backs. And then Marshall got hurt, and that's why Bryson came in. I don't know what it's going to be for Maryland. I think he's going to be okay, hopefully. But why does all this stuff happen to Michigan and the Lions? We just seem to get all the injuries. So rushing, we had 216 yards to 461. Northwestern 61 yards, 184 is passing. So we outpassed them by almost 100 yards, outrushed them by 160 yards, 6.4 per carry, 4.6, 25 first downs from Michigan to 11. Think about what I'm saying, 25 first downs. We were 9 for 14 on third downs. They were 2 for 12. We had outplayed them 77 plays to 53. But we had 5 turnovers. They had no turnovers. 33 minutes to 26 minutes. And that's the big thing. So that's why it was an even game. So if we didn't outplay them that bad, if we come close to this against anybody, we're going to lose. We could lose to Maryland like this, of course. Ohio State, I don't need to say anything. We don't have a prayer. If we get it, we can't have any turnovers. No turnover. We need to play mistake-free, okay? And we need to get a couple interceptions. We got no interceptions. I think we got just one sack. They had Bryce shockingly 3 times, I believe. But he ran for 30 yards. He didn't look too bad. That was impressive. anything else I could see that I want to say about Jordan had 442 yards, 7.5 per, and Bryce had about 30 yards. Bryce had 9 attempts at 30 yards. They weren't design runs. I wish they would have had a few more design runs, but he was smart on that play action, okay, and the RPOs. He knew when to run, except on that last interception. That was if he had handed the ball off, it should have been a handoff. There would have been no interception, and it would have been game over. But that's the way it is. Their quarterback, Preston, what's his last name? Preston something. I can't remember. Anyway, Preston. He looked okay. He had his moments. I thought he stayed in control and he didn't panic. He did well, but look, Michigan and Northwestern are not in the same category. Michigan just let them stay. And how can I not say that's not true? I mean, the statistics show everything. So again, I'm not trying to say Northwestern didn't deserve to be that close. In a way, they did deserve to win. But I don't know if I'd say Michigan got lucky. Okay, it's they blew it. We got lucky that we outplayed them, I guess. If you want to say it that way, I'll go with it. But I'm not going to say that we played this horrible game and just got lucky to win. We actually played a good game, take away the turnovers, which you can't. I get it. I'm not stupid. But, they held in there and Zavada came through and they're going to need Zavada. So I thought that was impressive. I wanted him to know what it feels like to come in under clutch situation and knock it through, and he did. And that's about it. So, listen, people, I appreciate your time. I ask that if you get any kind of information or at all, please like, subscribe, please share it. I've been trying to grow this thing, and it's just a tough thing to do. It's tough to get out there. But if nobody listens, I still love talking about my Wolverines. It just, Michigan means everything to me. The school, I had the opportunity to be there and play. It's just my school. My parents got engaged there. So, listen, as usual, go do something nice for somebody today. Go volunteer, help somebody. There's no snow and there's no grass, so you can't really cut the grass. You can't really do the snow, but you can rake some leaves maybe for an elderly person or anybody, a single mom, or just think, what can I do in the next couple of days to do something nice to help somebody. So that's going to be it. Go Blue. We'll come back after the Maryland game, and then it's on to Ohio State, and we'll see what happens. If we could beat them last year with the team we had, and they won the national championship, don't tell me we can't. It wasn't likely we were going to win last year, so it might not be likely, but they can do it. They can do it. And I don't think Ryan Day is going to be the moron that he was last year and have his, no, I'm going to outrun them. I'm going to do this. Okay. He just was a terrible coach. It was bad coaching last year. So, and one thing I want to say real quick, at the end of the game, I saw Sharon Moore, and he was doing an interview, and you kind of saw Bryce Underwood kind of meandering around. He just looked like he was almost lost or something. And you could see he kind of walked up to his coach. He kind of put his head on his shoulder saying, "Coach, I need a hug. I need some love. He was hurting. You could tell. And Bryce or Sharon put his arm around him. You could tell, patted him, and said, "Now talk to this guy." It just see two macho football players and coach, African-American kids and coach just being there for each other emotionally. It was such a sweet, great thing. It was just remind me another reason I love Michigan. Not that we don't do anything wrong ever. We don't. But there's just, to me, there's something special about that. And I know Sharon's had some tough times, but he's beaten Michigan State twice. He's beat his rivals. He's won every single time. He's 3-0. Okay. We beat Alabama last year. We had a winning season. This year we're 9-2. Okay, we could probably end up 10-3 going into a bowl game. But if they win the next two, they're in the playoffs. Yeah, they haven't played great all season, but these are 6 freshmen they're starting, receivers, running back, everything. So how can you? I don't know. I just don't think it's his fault. I think he definitely makes some mistakes and he's learning too, but this is his second year. And who are you going to replace him with? Okay, remember what people say about Jim Harbaugh remember after 2020? Okay, and that was after 5 years. This guy's 2 years and he's got a winning record and he still may make the playoffs in his second year and he beat Michigan State and Ohio State in his first year. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, and we got injuries and we're the youngest team in the Big Ten. And I said in the beginning of the season, this was going to be a possible playoff team. Unlikely, but they could do it, and I'm exactly right. It's possible if they win the next two, they will be in the playoffs, I believe for sure. I don't think they can keep them out if they beat Ohio State, #1 team, but give them some credit. At least give them another year or two and see what happens. So if they have a losing year next year with this team, then yeah. If they don't make the playoffs next year, I'm not saying get rid of them, but I could see it wouldn't be good. So again, I'm rambling. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.